We're going to continue graphing systems with linear equations and quadratic equations. So with the linear equations, we've been doing this for a little while. This right here, when we're looking at it, is y equals x. It's a little confusing because we don't see numbers. We just have to remember this is the same thing as y equals 1x plus 0. And that's going to help us graph this. Now, why that's going to help us is because our first step is always graphing our y-intercept. So since we don't have a number, our y-intercept is going to be at 0. Our slope is the number in front of x, so that's going to be 1, or we could think of this as 1 over 1. So it's up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1 again, just to make sure we have a straight line. Now that right there is our linear equation. We're probably pretty comfortable with that. Now, when we're looking at our quadratic equation, what we're going to do is we're going to look at our shortcut. Remember, with our shortcut, first thing we want to do is identify that it opens up. And the second thing we want to do is identify the vertex. Now, the reason that we know it goes up is because this is positive, and the vertex, opposite, -1, number, -1. So we have -1, -1. Now remember, there's a pattern. This number right here is positive. If we don't see a number in the front, we know that it's 1, so it's a positive 1. So that means that when we go to the right and to the left 1, we go up 1. Then, because it's a quadratic, we're going to square the next one. So when we square 2, we get 4. When we square -2, we also get 4. So we go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that right there gives us our quadratic. Now remember, our answer is where it crosses. So when we're looking at this, what we notice is that we have an ordered pair at -1, -1, and we have another ordered pair at 0 and 0. So those right there are our two answers. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the second one. So for the second one, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our linear equation. So this is x equals 2. This is a little bit different than the past few because it's not y equals, it's x equals. X equals 2 means we go to the right 2 on the x-axis and we plot a point. Now instead of drawing a horizontal line, what we have is a vertical line. Now we're going to look at our quadratic. This time, because of the negative, it's going down. And our vertex is 1 and 3. Remember, it's the opposite, which is 1. We're going to plug in a 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 squared is 0. -0 plus 3 is 3. So that's how we're getting that point. So what we have is a point at 1, 3. Now, because it's going down by 1, because this is like a -1. And then since it's a quadratic, when we move 2 away, it's going down 4, because 2 squared is 4. Once again, our answer is where it crosses. We see that it crosses right there, which is the ordered pair 2, 2. Now, looking at our last problem, what we have are two different quadratics. When we're looking at the quadratics, we see one goes up and the other one goes down. If we're looking at our first one right here, we see that it's positive, so we know it goes up. There's no parentheses. That means that it's going to be 0, negative 4. If we're looking at our second one, notice there's a negative, so that means it's down. And our vertex is 0, 4. So let's look at our quadratic that's going up. We have 0, negative 4. That right there is our vertex. Because our a value is 1, it's going up 1. And then remember, when we square something, if we do go 2 squared, it becomes 4. Negative 2 squared, it also becomes 4. And that right there is our quadratic. Now with our second one, our vertex is 0, 4. Because it's going down, we're going to go down 1. And when we move 2 away, it's going to go down 4. And we see that it crosses twice. So the two places that it crosses, we're going to write as ordered pairs. So it's going to be negative 2, 0, and 2, 0.